What's up, y'all? It's been a minute, hasn't it? Since I've played some Diablo 2 up in here. That's what we're about to do. We're gonna get it going. Let's get the sound. And for whatever reason, not capturing. So I'm just gonna restart the application. What do you know? There we go. Alright, now let's set everything up on my other monitor so that I can see what's going on during the stream. And we're golden. All about finding that golden zone. Working on my Amazon here. Continue where it is that I left off last time.
Not in town.
And that is leveling up to level 20 to where I can then go and do some cow runs, get to 25, 24,
Good
doing
day.
ancients, and then doing belt runs. And then we're back in the groove of things. Kind of been, you know, a little bit out of the groove ever since my last character died. Trying to get back into it here. It was a really awkward death that I had last time with my last character because my mother had called me and my grandfather on my father's side passed away. I answer the phone a lot of times during my streams, and so it was nothing, you know, out of the ordinary. She had called to inform me that Grandpa Hyatt had passed, and I wasn't too startled. He had literally called me like a few days before that and had me come into town. He was living an hour away from where I live now. And I went and he told me that he was going to pass in the next while. Pretty much told me his last words. And, you know, I tried to comfort him as much as I could. And his funeral was this last weekend. But my mother called me and informed me of his passing, and while she was doing that, my character died. I don't rage as much as some people do in Diablo when their characters die hardcore. I've been fairly smart about my gameplay so far. I've made a lot of mule characters, and every time I find any sort of lower level or higher level item which I can't use on my character to benefit his sake, I immediately, you know, go and transfer it when it's convenient to some of my mules. couple bones, as it were.
Hello.
But you know, when my character died, I was just like, now I really can't overreact, because it's like, it'd be super inappropriate to like react, you know, to my video game character's death when I just got a call from my mother that my grandfather had passed. But you know, I went and talked to him, and he was joking around with me just in his last kind of moments, and was like, you know, I'll see you again, Austin. And I was like, yeah, I know, Grandpa. I can't wait to see you again as well. And, you know, we're both serious about that.
Need some help?
So it kind of really took away from the seriousness of the whole event itself, you know. Life is just a cycle, and eventually it will be rebirthed again, type thing. Sometimes people passing away is still, you know, extremely difficult and hard. Reality enough to convince yourself that that's the truth. And even if it is true, sometimes it's still hard to go on without somebody that's been there for so long, you know. You know what? A funeral. It was. I've been to quite a few funerals, and you know, he had 12 children, and man, the mood of the funeral itself was one of really just everybody was happy to see each other. You know, such a large family that he left behind, and everybody was just like, you know, look what this guy left us with, is all these loved ones, and you know, he's managed to bring us together once again. Type attitude. That was kind of the mood and the feeling of it all. I know a few of you expressed your condolences to me, and I really appreciate that, and I'd like to thank you for doing that as well while I'm on the topic. Since my family's so big, on both my mother's and my father's side actually, they both come from like a farming background, and you know, it was like, the more hands you could have helping around the farm, the better type attitude. It was all such a pleasure to have the side of my family, because you know, a lot of time was spent at the farm or whatever, and so many people there. Whatever type of personality you have, there was somebody that you could vibe with, you know. It's almost like we had every position that, you know, somebody could fill in life was present somehow, and so it was like the family completed itself. Sometimes people passing away can really cause big divides in family units, you know, with allocation of assets and you know, people quarrel over such things, and it really wasn't like that with him. He didn't really leave the family with much. You know, a lot of his final years were spent children. And a lot of his children have ended up being fairly successful, you know, in their own ways. But, you know, he left all of us with each other, which is probably the best gift that he can give, I think. But due to that fact, and the fact that, you know, the things he did have, he set up like a family trust fund where all of his goods got put into the family trust, it's like a corporation, a Hyde family trust. And so all of his assets that he did have went into that. And it's an organization set aside where anybody in the family who needs help financially or whatever, you know, whether it be college or taking a loan out against the family, they actually paid back. And he was thinking of the future of the organization, the money he has, ranch house, log cabin up in the family can continue to gather. Which not a lot of people have, you know, the pleasure of being able to set something like that up in their final days. Death can come very swiftly or it can come very slowly, and in his case it was kind of a slow thing. You know, we took care of him in our house for the last 4 years, and so due to that fact he was able to organize and, you know, put together all of these things. A lot of people probably don't have the blessing of being able to do. You know, and he was in fairly good shape, at least mentally, up until the very end. I think that physically he wasn't that bad either. But it's not accepted that his life is over. You know, it's just like kind of just that acceptance really almost was finding out on the top of this. You know, I was talking to him a few days before he finally passed about the possibilities of the metaphoric meaning behind the company, and I was like, did this have anything to do like with politics at the time? I know that a lot of these things have hidden meanings, and they were told in this way so that they could be, you know, passed down and remembered more easily, but then also kind of subvert the eyes of those who they didn't want to see what it was that they're kind of spreading around and stuff like that. And we had a big old long talk about King Arthur and all this other stuff. And, you know, that was just a few days before his death. I was like, he's still sharp at that point, and able to recall all of these things. He did tell me that his short term seemed to be being lost a little bit. Physically, he didn't do much, you know, the last 6 months of his life. Kind of just lay in bed. Before that, for like the previous 4 years, he watched Netflix every day. He would cook dinner every once in a while, you know, once a week or whatever, twice a week. And sometimes I'd take him to the grocery store and, you know, I'd help him pick out a bunch of. Sometimes it's a little strange, but I think, you know, like, hey, I don't have that much lunch, so I've never cooked this before in my life. Let's make a meal out of it. So it's like, you know, yeah, it's been. And I just uploaded a video of the funeral for the sake of kind of capturing my family more than anything. Kind of sharing that, you know. knowledge driven. Hey, thanks, bro. I really appreciate it, man. Something that I have kind of a hard time accepting is my own human characteristics sometimes. And it's like, you know, he was living with me for the past 4 years, and I would be lying if I didn't say it was a little bit of a struggle, you know? Every day I have to remind myself is, bro, suck it up and don't be selfish about this entire thing, like, you know, the golden rule. And pretty much don't be an asshole. And you know, I can sit here today in front of you and kind of say that I was able to accomplish that. You know, I wouldn't be telling the truth if I said it was easy, because, you know, I was in the room right next to him, and it was really hard at times, kind of having to take care of him and you know, he sat me down at his bedside like 3 days before he passed away, and that was probably the toughest time that I had had over the entire time in regards to kind of bearing the weight of that situation on your shoulders. And I kind of sat there and I was like, you know what, like, he needs to be comforted in hell, because I feel like death in some certain respects, you know, when you have those dreams,
good evening,
and it's like you're like falling, and then all of a sudden you like wake up, and it was like I just felt like I didn't want him to feel like he was gonna fall and have nobody there to catch him. And so I sat there, and you know, he had like an hour-long conversation with me, and it was pretty uncomfortable, you know, because he was pretty shaky, and he was having spasms and twitching and stuff like that, and you know, it's sad to say that the physical body almost becomes something grotesque at that state and point in time. And I've been around my fair share of dead bodies. You know, I was in medical anatomy and physiology, and so it's nothing that's unfamiliar to me. But you know, sitting there and seeing somebody wavering back and forth, and kind of holding them and feeling that. You know what I mean? And then realizing that eventually this is going to be you. It's a very uncomfortable situation, and I kind of sat there and held him for an hour. And he told me what, you know, the most important things in life are, and kind of like the cliche speech about, you know, material possessions aren't the most valuable thing that you can have, but it's always good to be reminded of those platitudes in life, that way we don't forget about them, because it's too easy to forget and kind of move on to the wrong values. Then, you know, on the flip side, even though it was a struggle, I gotta spend more time with him at that point in time than I ever have in my life. I gotta go in there, and he gotta, you know, tell me some fantastical stories about his travels and escapades throughout the world. And he was one of those guys that he somehow knew how the world worked on like an intrinsic and unchanging way, where he could go to like Nicaragua and go on these escapades in Australia and all over the world. And I remember growing up as a kid, he had this little map in one of his rooms, and he had like a thimble. He collected these thimbles, these decorative thimbles from everywhere he went in the world. And I was like, man, you know, growing up, this guy's been all over the place. He's like a world traveler. which is what him and his late wife did, you know, for the retirement years of their lives. He had this extraordinary capacity to know the things that were unchanging no matter where you were, so he could survive anywhere, so he could adapt easily anywhere on the planet. And just a guy like that, you know, coming from almost like just a real far off place in Wyoming, to be able to kind of travel internationally and intercontinentally is a pretty miraculous and amazing feat. You know, I remember hearing stories about their family growing up. They had so many kids, which they were extremely grateful for, but at the same point in time, it put them in a fairly burdened situation, because I remember hearing stories about how close of quarters all their beds were when they were growing up and stuff like that. And my dad said, yeah, we used to have like 6 people in a room, the size of the room that you sleep in alone today. You know, just mattresses all spread out. Like, they did all these sort of odd things to like make money back in the day. Like, they ran their own dog. You know, farmed alfalfa, and farmed animals, and crops, and all this stuff.
There's no trouble a mug can't cure.
Ask and learn.
You know, kind of being around all my uncles and everything like that sometimes makes me feel a little bit like worthless to a certain degree, because I'm around them and I kind of see what they came from, and it's so miraculous that I'm just like, wow, there's no way I can ever live up to, you know, what it was that you guys were able to achieve and do. You know, farming and kind of construction is in my family, and it's kind of been like that for a while. Like, my dad, he's an amazing home builder, and I've spent my fair share of time on the job site,
citizen.
You know, and plowing the field. And, you know, they have a green thumb, and they can grow anything and they can build anything. I have a couple uncles that are engineers, and just like, you know, pretty miraculous what they're all capable of doing. And then here I am, playing video games on YouTube. Which, you know, in all fairness, a lot of these video games, they can't play as well as I can, you know, like StarCraft, I can melee, I was in Platinum, League for a while, so it's like all things that it's like, really,
Greetings.
should I actually brag about that? Like, is that actually something that's like braggable about, you know? And in truth, kind of not really, you know what I mean? When you're comparing yourself with somebody that builds like a multi-million-dollar mansion for somebody, and it's like immaculate and glamorous and
Who goes there?
without imperfection. And I'm like, well, I was once in the Platinum League of StarCraft 2.
Greetings.
Or I beat Dark Souls 3. Or I beat Cuphead. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if, you know, when you're in the shadow of these great figures, if those are such great deeds anymore. All the way through all my exercise and physical supplements just the other day. A proud moment on my behalf, because, you know, represents like the last 6 months of dedication and hard work that I've spent putting into my body at the gym. So there's that as well. I just went and bought all my new supplements today. Another upload is finished, and I have to finalize a few things on it. So I'm gonna finalize those things and get back to my gameplay. Possibly advertise this stream through some social media outlets. Diablo II Facebook group. It seems to appreciate the streams whenever I upload them to it, so I'm gonna make sure to stand up on that. I usually do that for most of the stream, but I didn't in this case because my phone was uploading an exercise video that I made earlier today, so it just barely finished. So I'll probably go and mess with the settings on that video for just like 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'll get back to streaming Diablo 2, and then I'll also upload or advertise the stream.
Greetings.
On those social forums
Good day.
I was just talking about, so. Six to mana or 10% damage goes to mana. Have my Jussie. Alright, so I don't know if you guys want to keep watching this, but it might be kind of boring. But for those of you interested in possibly streaming and starting up doing YouTube, you know, on your own, this might be interesting. And I don't really mind live streaming all of this information because I don't think that there's any information that's going to be displayed which is confidential, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. So going to my creator studio, my legs and shoulders video just got uploaded, so I'm gonna go ahead and matched third-party content. That's weird. The only reason I can think as to why it would have done that is because I filmed it at a gymnasium and there's music constantly playing in the background. And it probably picked up one of those songs, is what I'm guessing here. What I can do is click on this copyright. $7.54 to $8. I don't hear any Jason Mraz. I'll just do this. We'll remove the song. It was probably playing in the background. Save that. Let it reload. Then once that's done editing, I'll come back in and I'll be able to monetize that, hopefully. And that's YouTube process for everybody who might be possibly interested in that. Or just one aspect of it, really. Now that I've gotten that all figured out, I'm going to go ahead and post the link to the stream in my Diablo 2 Facebook group that I'm a part of. Then I might as well just post it on all my other forums that I'm involved in as well. So that involves my actual Facebook homepage, my Facebook business page, the reason I have both is because if you do a Facebook business page, then you can advertise and market. It actually took quite a while for me to establish that. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm live streaming. Click on the link in the bio and you can come and check out the live stream. Yeah. Let me check. I'll do like an audio equilibrium check right here and see what the game volume's at. I don't know why it does that. For some reason with Diablo 2 it seems to do that a lot. But thanks for giving me that input, Aaron. I've just got to mess with the settings a little bit and get them at something proper. Mic check. For some reason with Diablo 2 it seems to do this quite a bit. In OBS it like adjusts the audio so that it's alright. Aaron, does that seem to be better? I'm thinking that that might be better right there. I've had to minus the decibels on the stream by 8. For any of you interested in what I had to do to fix that issue, so this audio output capture, it usually does just fine here at 0.0 decibels. But I've had this happen twice now, where when I'm playing Diablo 2, for some reason, it I guess, increases the amount or the multiplication factor of the audio from the game itself. And so I've had to go in and adjust that down to somewhere around there, like 8.2, maybe possibly even 9. For any of you interested in possibly streaming, that's just one more aspect of it all, is kind of, you know, dealing with that from stream to stream, because sometimes the software is a little bit finicky. It's like shareware software, you know? And so you kind of have to mess with those settings from time to time, like after you've already the entire time to set things up properly. Alright, I'll probably do a Snapchat of this. Yo, I'm live streaming. Come and join me. Swipe up, click on the link. I'd love to have you here. Alright. Attach the link to that. Come and join. Swipe up. Alright, I'm done on Snap, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hashtag Diablo. Alright. Enough of that boring stuff, which is pretty much the majority of life itself. In between all that boring stuff, we have brief moments of glory. Just gonna make a game here called Make Cows. I can't make cows myself quite yet, so I'll probably just go and do tomb runs until somebody comes in the game which is willing to make cows for whatever reason. And it looks like I'm gonna have to do a transfer here.
Hello.
In the next little bit. So I'll just go back to doing what I was doing, and that's just running the tombs for a minute. Until I get somebody kind enough to come in and make a cow game. So is that pretty good right now, Aaron? I saw you say much better already, but I'm kind of wondering as I've played, you know, a minute or so since that reassurance, if it's changed at all. I guess that'll be something that I'll have to make sure to check every time before I stream, is whether or not my audio is properly set up. Sounds perfect? Alright, thanks bro. It's always sad to get something uploaded and then just have it be like pure trash after you get done. And then you realize it, like the other day, I kind of wanted to take a break from everything else I've been playing, and so I've been playing Heroes of the Storm on and off lately. But I did like a 4-hour stream, and I realized that OBS was set to capture a different game in its settings. And I realized that, you know, after 4 hours of playing. And I got done. And I didn't have anybody, you know, join the stream. I had a lot of people join the stream, actually. But ironically, they didn't say anything. and some of them stayed in the stream for, you know, quite a long time.
Good day.
But they didn't say anything through the chat, and it was literally just capturing the audio of the game and like my face. And so it was like this very odd thing. And it was like super frustrating when I got done with the stream. I was like, So I renamed the stream as like, don't watch this. Capture failure. But I left it inside my video feed because I kind of wanted it to serve as a reminder of like, that just how things go sometimes, and you just kind of brush your shoulders off, and it's like, you know, can't expect things to go perfectly always, and so just
Good day.
make the best of what you got, you know. Like this morning I was at the gym, and it's like kind of frustrating when I'm like working on my form in regards to some sort of exercise, but you know, I like wobble a little bit when I'm doing something. And it's like that could either frustrate me or I could just move on and, you know, hopefully get better and not have it happen again. Bane Bender the Howler. Another possibly interesting thing going on in my life right now, maybe not so interesting, but for me it's kind of like a little puzzle that I have to solve, is in regards to all this hair that I'm growing. You know, I'm not a girl, so I didn't grow up having somebody teach me how to deal with long hair and what to do and what not to do. So it's been a huge learning process figuring it out, and with the beard too. Nobody really in my immediate or extended family ever grows out their facial hair, and so this has been kind of like a pioneering moment for me, just kind of figuring out what to do with all of this. And the last little bit I've been using like a lot of elastic bands. You know, something similar to like what you get put in on your braces if you've ever been to like an orthodontist or something like that, or ever had braces. But imagine that like on your hair. And you know, I have my head hair done up in like a scrunchie right now to keep it out of my face, and it's weird. If you don't do that, it puts you in a totally different mood. Like when I do my hair up, it almost gives me like energy, because it's like me telling myself that I'm in like an active, that I'm like about to do something active, so it almost like wakes me up more. But if I just leave my hair like undone and just out, it's weird. It puts my body and mind in a totally different mood, because it's like I'm telling myself like, you don't need to, you know, keep your hair out of your face. You're not doing anything that's extremely active, or, you know, where your hair could possibly get in the way and stuff. Amish bulb? Thanks. Alright, yeah, I'll have to check that out. But you know, I've been doing it up in like these elastics lately. But it really puts a lot of stress on my face. You know, when you like see like the jokes on television of people that they just had like Botox injections, like the old ladies, and their faces like all scrunched up and super tight, and they like can't smile and stuff like that. That's what it feels like sometimes when you do like your face up in elastics a lot. And so I have it all free today because I gotta give like my roots a little bit of a break from all of that stress. And if any of you have ever had cornrows, and I had cornrows for a while, it's like, it's a really weird process that you have to live by when you have cornrows. You gotta like oil like your hair and like wipe this stuff on your rows to keep them like tight and keep them from frizzing out. And then when you sleep at night, it feels like you have braces on, like your teeth, but it's on your head. And so like for the first week, it's extremely hard to sleep. It's like this massive amount of pull on your hair. And it almost like hurts. It's like a pain almost. Showering, you have to wear like a shower cap. You can't get that wet, otherwise it ruins it. And then so, like, you wear a shower cap, and then you get like facial wipes. And then so, you know, to maintain your hygiene, you like shower, but you don't get certain regions wet. And then for the regions that you couldn't get wet and shower with, you have to use like a face wipe and clean that all off and stuff like that. Kind of similar process if you're like braiding up your beard and stuff. I do use a lot of waxes, Aaron. The brand is Honest Amish. Alright, thanks, Aaron. What's up, Maxim Mamishka? I'm the boss, huh?
Tell me your troubles.
Let me tell you something about leaders, bro. Every leader is led by something. So it's like, in that, even leaders are followers. And the boss himself is still an employee to someone and to something. But yeah, I do use waxes every once in a while and oils, but I hate getting that feeling in my hairs, like especially on my face. And when I go to sleep that night, it's like it like rubbing all over my skin. It just feels weird, and I feel like it makes me more prone to like breaking out and stuff like that. And so I really try to avoid using products on my hair, my head hair, and my face hair as much as I can, just for that. And then I have to wash my hair a lot more, which when you start getting longer hair, if you consult anybody, you only wash your hair like once or twice a week at most. Because the more you wash your hair, the more dry it becomes, and the more, you know, your hair falls out. And your hair actually is healthier with the oil, you know, that comes from your roots. And then it almost like, your hair is almost like a straw, where it sucks up that oil and takes it like and extends it over the length of your hair, and that's what keeps it healthy and makes it look healthy and stuff like that, and keeps it growing. And so today I did wax it and stuff like that. I didn't use a lot. I just put in enough to like where I could shape it a little bit and keep it out of my mouth, because my mustache gets so long that it starts getting in my mouth, and it's horrible. Just do a beard wash, then you don't really feel it. I guess I could start doing that. It's always good to get somebody else's perspective. Like the other day, I was like trying to figure out like attaching this thing to my phone, and I was like, this isn't working. And then my mom came by and she's like, I just do this with mine. And I was like, I looked at it for a second and I was like, why the hell did I not think of that like 5 minutes earlier? And you know what I mean? It's just like, sometimes we get so focused, or I say we, but maybe, you know, it's just me. But sometimes I get so focused on something, and it's like, I forget to see like other perspectives of it, and, you know, better ways of possibly doing something. And maybe a little bit of it has to do with pride, and maybe a little bit of it has to do with sometimes other people are just better at seeing things than me, and they possibly know things that I don't. Yo, Maxim Mamishka. I mean, either one of us could always make a character in the other realm. Oh, nice. You had a 2-year beard? Yeah. That's, That's what I'm aiming for here, man, right now. I'm trying to get like the Gandalf or the Dumbledore or the, if you guys ever watched the Vikings television series, one of the characters on that game has a big old beard that he has done up in like a lot of beads all the way down. I'm trying to get there, but it takes a lot of patience, and then sometimes it's like when I'm clipping my fingernails, it's like I sit there and I think it's like, wow, it's so easy for me to like cut this off, and then I like think about my beard and I'm like, wow, it would be so easy for me to just cut this off. But then it's like I just have to think about all the times that I've done that in the past, where it's like I've tried to grow out my hair, I've tried to grow out my beard, and then I just I end up just cutting it off because it's like I can't handle this anymore. A lot of people think that it's like a lazy man which grows out his hair and beard, but in all actuality, like if you're actually going to take care of it, you got to be on top of your game. You got to be on the ball, because if you're not, like,
welcome back, my friend.
you can't grow it to a certain degree. Like, it won't grow if you don't take care of it. So it's actually the opposite. Like, people that grow out their facial hair and long hair and stuff like that,
Greeting.
it takes a lot of time and effort and energy to take care of it and do it well. Mamushkin? Gray Bailey? Alright. Maxim Mamushkin. I was saying Mamishkin before, but alright. Mamushkin. And Aaron, I'll make sure to check out Gray Bailey, because yeah, I'm open to, you know, any sort of advice and like teachers, because like where I'm at, nobody really has facial hair or long hair, guys. So it's hard to figure out what to do with it all. Alright, nice. We had someone come in and make a cow game. And there goes my mercenary, because he's a dummy. So, and this guy's name is the N-word. I'm guessing that the N-word stands for Namaste. Like, you know, I acknowledge the light in you as well as within myself. I'm guessing that's what his name stands for here. Yeah, you're right. Like, they hate the long hair and beards, which is kind of ironic, because if you ever look at like a lot of their prominent historical figures, some of them have really long hair and long, like, extremely long beards. And so it's like, you know, it's weird. Like, the Mormon faith is like based upon this notion of like, don't be of the world, don't let the world influence you, like, hold and stay true to your values. But like over the last, I don't know, couple centuries or whatever, or century, it hasn't been around that long, but they actually are more like people that enforce the social norms of the world more so than a lot of other communities. And it's like, huh, you guys are kind of contradicting yourself with your like core belief system here. Mushkin. Yeah, you know what? Every once in a while, like you'll go to church or something like that, and you'll see somebody, and it's like if it's a nice, well-kept beard, it's like it's kind of this weird thing. It's like people respect it to a certain degree, you know. For me personally, I find like an interesting thing in regards to people's like viewpoints of my beard. From the ages like 0 to like 16, people really like almost respect the beard. Like little kids, they think it's like super interesting and intriguing. It's like the beard draws them to my face, and they want to play with it and pull it, and you know, whatever. And like, but as soon as they hit 16, it's like they have this like so self-conscious view of the world and everything like that, and like what looks good, you know what I mean, based upon like popular magazines and stuff like that, and models and whatever, and women, because most women don't like beards, and once you hit the age of 16, you're really influenced by, you know, women's perspectives, and so then all of a sudden, you know, it's disgusting. And for girls, it's kind of the same way. Once they hit that age where it's like they're becoming like attracted to men or whatever, then it's like the beard is all of a sudden gross, and the long hair is like not appropriate. But then, you know, they go through that phase of like where all of a sudden the beard becomes cool again. Like over this last weekend when I was at my grandfather's funeral, I had a few people that were like, it seemed like they really respected it and stuff like that. And they were like older, they were probably like in their like late 50s, 60s, and 70s or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? It was like, they're just really hardy people. And it was like a thing of respect. So I feel like people, there's definitely like a statistical, you know, observant thing what I can see in relation to people, you know, and their perspectives about facial hair and long hair and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in like religious doctrine about, you know, not having a beard or long hair. The only thing that I've ever really come across is probably like the Gospel of Paul. And I think he says, you know, it's unfitting for a man to have long hair. Women should have long hair, and men should have short hair. Men should cut their hair. And, you know, going back even further than that, if we look at like ancient Roman history, you know, they had certain rites and practices that went along with your hairstyles. And as soon as you became like a man who was a part of society and had an indefinite and important role of society, you cut your hair and your beard. And then from that, you know, from then on and that point on, you kept it short and stuff like that. But before that, people grew out their beard and long hair. But then once they reached that point, then they kind of, you know, it was in their culture to shave it all or whatever. Yo, Mamushkin. Happy you could save your friend from a fire, bro. I had a fire in my house once. I left a candle burning. And I was like, oh, whatever, it'll burn out. And then I came back home after I went to the gym. And my family told me that my brother, you know, and I locked my door for whatever reason. I think it was just habit because I've been in college for so long and whatever, and it's like I was just used to locking things. And they broke down my door. So that they could put out the fire. Yeah. And if you're Mormon, if you've ever been to the Salt Lake Temple, and you look at all the picture, they have pictures of all the prophets on one of the walls. Dude, they all had like, some of them had really long hair, and they pretty much all had like big old beards. So it's kind of weird that they'd like outcast people that followed that. Yo, I'm never gonna be able to pronounce your name right, man, so you're just gonna have to learn to accept with how I'm pronunciating it, because I know that you're from I think it's Ukraine, if I remember correctly what you said before. Maxim. I'll just say Maxim, because it seems like I'm saying that correctly. Alright, Maxim. I know you're trying to put, like, say with, like, the capitalization that I'm supposed to put, like, emphasis on, like, a certain word. But for some reason, I'm just not able to emphasize what it is that you're emphasizing. Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna call him Maxim for now on. Your older brother went to New York. What's PGM stand for? PMG? Alright, what's PMG stand for? Possible marriage? I don't know. If you're changing your surname, I don't know what you're referring to. I do no damage at all of these guys. Only, what, 2.5 more levels to go, and then I can do Bell. I guess 1.5 if you count the level that I'm going to get from Ancients, so. Okay. He's getting his citizenship in the United States? That's what I'm translating that as. I could probably open up my translation, Google Translate, and try to translate Ostains mesto getelstva. I don't know what that means. I'd have to open up my translator. But what it sounds like is, it sounds like your brother is going to New York to work on getting his citizenship as a United States citizen. And doing that might change your surname.
Impossible.
Can I leave my party?
I can't.
Food beat. Green card, yeah. So I was right. He's working on his citizenship here in the United States. Alright, that's cool, man. Hey, Boog beat sounds like I'm being what, bro? Or did you mean to say it sounds like I'm being? Like I'm at one? It sounds like existence itself is what I myself sound like. The vision you see before you at this moment is literally a vision of pure experience. Being bro broad. Do you read and very bro broad? Do you legendary? Yes. I do legendary. I am legendary. I really don't know what at all that it is that you're talking about. That sentence seemed a little bit odd in its format. But sounds like a compliment, bro. And I saw the word legendary in there, and if you're asking me if I'm legendary, then yeah, I'm legendary, dude. And if you think that's a little bit prideful, nobody who ever became legendary didn't believe that they could become legendary. I got you, man. Like, Maxim, for myself, bro, I've traveled quite a bit. And, oh, the guy left. I'm fairly international in my belief system and, like, everything to that extent. I don't know. I can't do this actually. Siri sucks, bad at hearing your voice. So you're just doing text or speech to text right now. And Maxim, your brother thinks America's all that. That's why he's trying to get a green card here or something. That's what I'm guessing you're referring to. Yeah, I've traveled quite a bit, man. Maxim, I have quite the respect for a lot of different places around the globe. And you know, how bland the world would be if there was nothing outside of what we ourselves were.
What you
Type
need?
attitude. That's me, bro. It's like, I'm happy that there's difference and there's other things for the sake of difference. For the sake of it allowing me to see what it is that I like about where I'm at, while still seeing the potential for, you know, things to be better. And allowing me to see beauty in things that I'm not accustomed to experiencing.
Greetings.
Yeah, I think that, you know what I mean? There's good people and there's bad people. If you're talking about there being a difference between USA bosses and United Kingdom bosses, or the European Union bosses, or whatever. In a certain respect, I think that some stereotypes hold true. Otherwise, they wouldn't have become a stereotype. But on the flip side of the coin, you know, I have traveled enough to where I see that I can travel down the street from where I live and I can come across a shithead. And, you know, I can be halfway across the world and I can come across somebody that I really enjoy and I empathize with and sympathize with their entire situation, and I really agree with them on their standpoints in regards to everything. So, you know, there's always that. I'm on ladder, yeah. I'm on US West ladder, and this is hardcore. Are you talking about the United States being conquerors, and you're saying you wish that, you're kind of wishing that I wasn't, like, looking that I'm in as comfortable a situation as I am right now? I think that that's what you're trying to say right there, but, I mean, I read a lot of history in my spare time, and you know what I mean? Like, in terms of conquering civilizations and societies, the United States is definitely not the first to fall under that categorization. I mean, you know, we have like the whole Macedonian Empire, Greece, which kind of was the forebear. They weren't necessarily like a conquering nation unto themselves. They did kind of conquer the Middle East in some respects. And then with the Hellenistic Empire, they branched out quite a bit, but they kind of set the forefront for empires and conquering nations. And then you have the Romans, which is another European, you know, state, which were conquerors. You know, if you're in Ukraine, then you were a part of the Eastern Empire, the ancient Roman Empire, which kind of dissolved and left, you know, a split in the empire, and then you have the Eastern Empire and kind of the Western Empire. And that's why you have like Romania, but that's not in Rome, but they kind of claim heritage to the true Roman Empire and a lot of the Slavic nations and stuff like that. And then, you know, in terms of Middle Eastern conquerors, you had the Ottomans and the Ottoman and the Syrian empires and the Persian empires, who were definitely conquerors. And then, you know, after that, you have the Spanish and Portugal, and also the Mongolians, which were all conquering nations. And then you have the British and the English, which, you know, were also conquering nations. And then before the British and English, you also had the Scandinavian countries, which for a large part in time held the Anglo-Saxons captive. And then you also had the French with Napoleon, and, you know, everything to that extent. And I mean, then we can look at the other side of the coin here, and we can look at American nations like South America. They were, you know, there were huge empires in South and Central America, and even in North America as well. You had the Mayan, the Olmec, the Aztec, and you had the Choctaw, the Cherokee. All of those nations were, to some extent in regards, conquering civilizations and nations. So to kind of condemn and say that the United States is like a bad country is to kind of forget about the past that we all once had in certain respects, you know? You're in Kiev, Ukraine. You're in the home of your dead aunt. I mean, it sounds like, to be fairly honest, it sounds like you're a little bit of a sticky predicament. I'm not sure if what you were saying before is in direct reference to that little speech that I just had, just barely. But if I could say anything, you know, to you right now, just keep plugging along, bro, and just don't give up on anything, you know what I mean? We all kind of find ourselves in like bad situations where it seems like the world is against us and nothing is working out in our favor, and everything we say isn't believable, even though, you know, in the depths of our soul, it is true. So if you're in one of those instances right now, and, you know, you're kind of finding yourself in a struggle against opposition, then, you know, if you already have a firm sense and grasp on what the right action is, then stick with it. And just don't give up, bro.
How may I help you?
More like clam. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, Boog. Boog. You like milk cheeseburgers? Are you a whole milk sort of guy or a skim milk, man? I got you, Maxim. I mean, obviously, my stream is a little bit controversial, you know what I mean? But I try to have a good attitude about everything. Even though I'm a little bit rebellious in regards to the social acceptability of some things.
Put that to good use.
But yeah, man, in anything, you know, in life, you can either be a douche or you can be somebody that's respected. Like, even in Diablo 2, you can be a douche that's running around PKing everybody and, like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, jacking people's items, which obviously you can tell that they're trying to, like, transition between characters and whatever, man. So that's good that you try and be a respectful person wherever it is that you go, whether or not it's within a video game or if it's in real life, you know? Yeah, my strategy for this character right now is, I'm gonna go strafe. This is really my first time kind of dedicating a lot of time to an Amazon. I'm gonna go strafe. So multi-arrow. And I'll restat when I'm in hell. I kind of went a ton of strength right now because I needed the strength so I could survive wearing Saigons. But then later on, when I get better gear, I'll restat all my stuff, and I'm gonna go heavy in dodge, avoid, and evade. I'm gonna go heavy in strafe. So yeah, there's that. And obviously my character is going to have a lot of dexterity and a lot of life.
Thanks.
I might make a new game with the new name because it doesn't seem like anybody's going to join this game to help me with Ancients. It's probably a little bit too, you know, not blunt. So people don't really know what's going on. Either that or nobody wants to join a game and help me with Ancients. Alright, there we go, strafe. Evade. Dodge. I'm not really sure if I can even comfortably walk there myself. Probably not without dying. It might be time for me to switch some gear.
Thanks.
Let's see here. And then also I needed to upgrade. What else did I need to upgrade? Gears? It was these as well. I need to upgrade these as much as I can. I need to upgrade Critical Strike, Penetrate, and Pierce. So those are what I'm going to be upgrading next. If I can, get Blackhorn and the Razor. Alright. Yikes.
You have proven yourself. Thank you.
With Kleeglaws and any 40% run boots, alright. You don't run hardcore? Yeah, it's definitely a different game.
Not enough mana.
Thanks.
So I just experiment a little bit with all this stuff. Hold arrow might be my best bet right now. Alright, Maxim. Later, bro. Jeez, nobody's joining my Ancients games. I leave Bell-6.
I am... Yes, warrior?
Good afternoon.
Alright, dope. Like, this dude's gonna help me out here. It's nice of him.
The fabled home of the ancients.
Yo, what's up, Polish guy? Nice to see you, man. Blessed Aim is better than Defiance? Are you talking about a paladin running that or what? Because I don't have either of those skills. I'm pretty sure those are both paladin skills. Yeah, I usually either run Blessed Aim or Concentration. Maybe if I'm in a very precarious spot, then I'll pop up Defiance. Just kind of depends on how OP my character is, I guess.
Hello.
$73, huh?
What do you need?
Thanks.
Might get off after this bell run right here. Transfer some items. And then go eat some food. Alright, and it looks like this bell run series has come to an end. Yeah, I was like, I messaged that, and then I was like, oh, like right when I hit enter, it showed that you had gone off, and then my message like went after you had got off, and I was like, ah, whatever, he probably heard me. Oh, nice. Gonna get your computer up and running a little bit better, huh? It's always nice to upgrade something. Yeah, I bet, dude. It's gonna be tough to sleep tonight, bro. With that on the horizon. Work right bird. Yeah, and then maybe we can play that other game without you going to like -2 frames per second. That StarCraft 2
I am
mod.
overburdened.
Hello.
Yeah, and I think you're probably right too. It probably has a lot less to do with, you know, the actual hardware of your computer. Yeah, I agree with you. Because I had mine on, like, I saw that things were starting to go downhill, and I put mine on low as well, and it didn't do anything.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, it's still a fun, you're right, it's still a fun mod to play. Man, that soul rune. I need some soul for my soul. Alright. Just checking out if I have anything that I can use on that Zon right now. And then I'm gonna check and see if I can make my insight. I think I'm missing a soul rune. Raltir Tal Soul. I don't know if I can make one or not. I think it takes 3 Am runes to make a soul rune. Alright. Well, now that I know that, I know I gotta get a soul. But that's gonna be the end of this stream right there. Just me getting it all taken care of. So anyways, I will see you all next time, and hopefully when I start up my streams, you know, from here on out, I'll always remember to check my audio levels to make sure that my game audio isn't overpowering my mic, or my mic isn't, you know, obviously extremely loud in comparison to my game audio. It's just weird because sometimes starting Diablo 2, especially with Diablo 2, I think it has to do something with running it in compatibility mode. It messes up almost a little bit with my settings, and sometimes it varies, it changes from game to game and from instance to instance opened. So I got to keep that in mind. But thanks for the comments, thanks for letting me know that, Aaron especially. And thanks for the chats, everybody. Maxim, Boog, and the Polish guy. I'll see you all next time. Later.